I'm late. So today I'm going to talk to you about time and how it's your biggest investment in your business and how to use it wisely. First of all, I want to just say one thing is a coach that I had, she would always say, it's your time or your money. So you want to think about that because that really shows the reality that time is an investment in your business, right? Either it's going to take your time or you've got to pay somebody to do it. But either way, those things have to get done, right? I wanted to talk to you guys, especially if you are a solopreneur, on how you can start to put things in perspective on what you need to do. Right now, I'm offering an exclusive guide in the Coach and Profit giveaway called the Alter Egos of the Solopreneur, and it's about all the different hats you wear, right? And it's just kind of fun. It's intended to be fun, but it's also intended to be really informative for you in terms of like all the different roles you're playing, because you really are playing a lot of roles. And last week I talked about this in terms of, that it's really important that you make decisions when you're in the right role. Your mindset may not be in the right place when it comes especially to things like spending money, right? Buying courses, that kind of stuff. You might be acting on impulse instead of acting in the best interest of your business. You want to make sure you're wearing the right hat when you make those kinds of decisions. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit now about okay, so if you decide not to hire, what can you do in terms of preparing yourself to hire, number one, and also understanding the value of your time and where you should and shouldn't be putting your time. If you're watching this live, please put a comment in there, #live. If you are watching the replay, do a #replay for me, please, so I can see where you're at. That you can get the alter egos of the solopreneur. I will be dropping the link to that in the comments here when I'm done in just a few minutes. All right. So let's talk about your time. So first of all, when you make sure that you are categorizing all the work that you need to do as you're doing things this week and next week, start putting a category. And if you download my guide, you'll see like all the different roles. There's a lot of them, and that isn't even exhaustive of what you could actually label things at, but kind of start looking at is it an operations type of thing? Is it a management task? Should it be at the CEO level? Should it be at the accountant's level? Should it be at the development level where you're doing all the technical things? What role are you playing when you do those things, or what category should they be in? And the reason why you want to do this is because when and if you ever hire, you'll be able to hire more easily because you'll have all the things that need to be done categorized into roles, so you'll know what role you need to hire. You'll actually have sort of a job description done as well. Okay, and then the other thing I want you to do when you're doing this is start labeling everything. Business people use this matrix that's the good at and like to do, good at but don't like to do, bad at and like to do, and bad at but don't like to do, right? So if you categorize all of those things in this little matrix, then you can start looking at what things you should be delegating because you're not very good at them, or you don't like to do them, or both. But if it is something that you're good at and you enjoy doing, then you want to see if it's really appropriate for you as the CEO of your business to be doing that. And it might be appropriate now while you're in the beginning stages of your business, but eventually when you scale, you may want to have that all, delegated out, and then you just simply oversee it because it takes up too much of your time. The other thing I want you to do is, now that you have everything categorized, now that you have the good and bad and what you like and don't like to do, then put a dollar per hour amount on each one of those things. If you're doing development work, or you're doing VA work, or you're doing creative writing or writing work, copywriting, sales copy, persuasive writing, all of those different types of things require kind of a different skill set. Because of that, they also command different wages. If you start putting a dollar amount, and you can go to just about any Upwork or Fiverr or any of those, and you can start looking at what people are charging and figure out what it is that you should be charging, or you would be charged if you were to hire that person, right, to do those things. And when you start putting a dollar amount and you start realizing that you're doing work that maybe commands 10 or 15 bucks an hour, Well, that's probably not something that you as the CEO should be doing, because that kind of work requires lower skill and more time. I always look at things like lower skill and more time, or high skill and not as much time. As an application developer or an expert in web page design and WordPress would command a much higher rate of pay, but it's going to take them faster than it would take you to do those things if you're just learning those skills. You see what I'm saying? So you want to look at that. But not all people are created equal. Just because they put up a sign and say they do this thing does not necessarily mean they are really good at it. And so you want to make sure that they have the experience that you desire. And it's not a bad thing if they don't have a lot of experience. Think about this. If they don't have a lot of experience, you have the ability to train them how you want to train them, right? You could even give them a perk and put them through training, pay them a lower wage and give them some training until they build the skills to command that higher wage, and then work them up to that wage, so that you're able to give them incentives as time goes on, give them raises and stuff like that to keep them motivated and wanting to work for you, and giving them those perks like training and support. So you don't have to hire the most skilled person, but you want to make sure that you know whether or not you're going to have to train them. You don't want them charging you top dollar when they're training and they're trying to train themselves, and you have no idea how good they are at training themselves, right? Because that's not always an easy thing. Some people can, read a book and or follow instructions and do it, and they're fine. And other people need to be shown how to do things in order to really understand it, because they have a hard time reading through a document or going through step by step, of some sort of thing, or they run into problems or whatever. And if they just have somebody to show it to them, then, they might perform better. So when you put that dollar amount on there, you can start to look at all the things that you do in the categories and start putting a dollar amount of what you need. Then you can start tracking the number of hours that it takes for you to do those things. So if you track those hours, now you kind of have an idea of like, okay, how much would I be paying somebody else if they were doing this for me? And could they do it faster than me or slower than me? And if so, then how much would it cost me to hire a person like that? Here's the beauty of all that. When you go through this exercise, and you're really just doing it as you go, so it's not going to take you that much extra time to do it. When you do that, then you have this dollar amount of like, okay, if I want to hire this out, I need to budget this much money for them. And if you're not making that kind of revenue, then that's a revenue goal you want to set. And that would be your reward, is that you would get to offload this thing. This one role, you'd be able to offload to somebody else. And that would be a great reward for you for earning that extra revenue. You want to, make sure that you have all the pieces in place for your business. And that's one of the things you can do, is rewarding yourself by giving yourself more time, because your time is really valuable. You're going to categorize things. You're going to categorize things by roles. You're going to put a dollar an hour, and then you're going to estimate how long things take, or track how long things take to do in those particular roles. And then you have this budget that you can create that you need in order to outsource all the things that you do, so that you don't have to do those things, and you can stick to the things like plotting and scheming and planning and strategizing, and coming up with your ideas and doing the good work that you need to do in order to provide the best service to your client. Categorize, label, put a dollar amount, estimate how long, and then set a budget for those roles. And then you'll have an idea about how much time you're investing and the value of that time, and whether or not it's something you should be doing with your business. All right. I hope that helps. So just, try that this week and see if that makes a difference in how you think about the work that you're doing, and how you approach your work, and how you look at the future of your business as it comes to, creating a team and stuff like that. All right, guys, I'll see you in the comments. I'm going to drop that link in the comments for you to join the Coach and Profit giveaway and get my new guide called The Alter Egos of the Solopreneur, where you get to see all the different hats that you might be wearing and why. Hopefully that'll help you kind of see things more clearly when it comes to your business, and kind of explain why you might be feeling overwhelmed and feeling chaotic and out of control sometimes. We'll see you there in the comments. Bye.